as as a part of learning the business. So we have started looking into various business models to understand better. So relatively, this Spotify is easier compared to the other one, because we know we use this on day-to-day basis. Also, we can understand how the revenue streams works and what are the spendings things more easily rather than googling and stuff. So I took this case and I did some detailed analysis and research as well, trying from various resources. Yeah, so as most of us are aware of Spotify, this is basically I'm using a streaming app, and it has nearly 456 million monthly active users. Out of it, 195 million are like paying subscribers as of September 2022. So yeah, I think there is no need for much introduction about Spotify, how it works. Let's quickly jump into various components of a business model. So first thing, who are the key partners of Spotify? If we see, basically those are the music publishers or the artist or the license holders. Sometimes the producer of movie holds the license for the music as well. So the key partners are basically the music publishers. And what are the key activities if we observe from Spotify app end? So first is platform optimization. So what do they mean by here is like kind of giving to make the user interact much more with the site. So let's say if they play 1-2 songs, maybe with the advanced machine learning algorithm, we can kind of predict what are the songs which user might be interested in, and providing those things, which is something which Spotify works or develops on monthly basis. Apart from that optimization, they even do the ads optimization also. Let's say if someone is listening to workout playlist or something like gym, then there are more tendency of giving some ads related to brands like Nike, Puma, and things like that. So those sort of optimization also which Spotify works. Apart from that, user acquisition. So it's more important to keep the user hold to reduce the churn rate and increase the revenue. And they also have some marketing channels and something like reminder mail sending to users if they are about to, or let's say if someone is a premium subscriber for years, then they do give grace period for kind of like renewing. Those type of strategies also something they follow up. And next thing is key resources, so which is basically the licensing agreement with the contributors. And user base means like the list of users from different countries and things like that. These are the key resources which drives the business. And next, coming to the customer segment, so we have kind of two segments. One is millennials and Gen X. These are basically the users of the app who listens to music. And second is musicians who contribute and get paid out based on the number of streams or like the number of times the audio played, things like that. Yeah. And value proposition. So if you see, as we saw in customer segment, we have the users and the artists. So for users, the value proposition is low cost music wherever you are. Let's say you want to listen to Justin Timberlake's music from India, or you want to listen to A.R. Rahman's music from America. So Spotify does it. So low cost music wherever you are. And also something interesting I found with this thing. So let's say if you are premium user, then you get to listen like much better music, 320 kbps. And let's say if you are like freemium user, and they call it freemium and premium. So freemium, then you will kind of get to listen only 160 kbps. So this is what something I found which I was not known before. And exposure and revenue stream, this is specifically, as we saw in the customer segment, we add millennials and musicians. So whatever this exposure and revenue streams, is it basically for the contributors like the artists, because they get to know whether it's hit or not. They can compare with the corresponding or their competitors, like where they stand in terms of number of people listen. And also they get revenue streams, they get paid according to the number of watches or number of times it's listened. Yeah, so this is about the value proposition for both listeners and contributors as well. And next, customer relationship. Unless retail and some industries like retail or franchise, where we have to deal with customer on day-to-day basis, face-to-face, this doesn't require any direct relationship. So everything is kind of digital here. Let's say you want to subscribe, listen, or let's say you want to add your music, then in that case everything is digital. There is no need for any direct relationship in this particular business model. And coming to the marketing channels, word of mouth. What do I mean by word of mouth is, let's say if we are using this app, we kind of tell our friends and relatives this app is used for streaming and things like that. And second one is PR, means public relations. So Spotify also kind of do the marketing using a lot of articles to be added in the site. And apart from that, they do have top 10 music or top 100 most played music, those sort of articles which people kind of interested, they might go through that page, and after that there are more tendency they might be interested in that and they may download. So that's also something which they kind of use it as marketing. And last, track links. So track links is basically, let's say when we listen to some music, we might kind of share it with our friends, like that specific link which will kind of let them look into Spotify and they may even download. So this is also something which is about the channels, different marketing channels which enables Spotify. And coming to the cost structure, so they basically have two expenses. One is royalties, so which they pay to contributors or license holders or the artists, like whoever wants the license for that particular song. And second is platform cost. As you see, like every app we get a monthly update or sometimes quarterly update. In each of them, where it tells like how better or what are the updates they have. Even in fact, recently we had Tableau update as well, right? So like that, most of the apps, they kind of release the updates very frequently, considering the reviews and users agreement and stuff. And next, revenue stream. So this is basically the main key component of the business models. So if you see, Spotify generates revenue majorly through two ways. One is free ad supported. Let's say for the non-premium subscribers, most of the time they generate revenue through free ads. And the second model, monthly subscription, where user kinds of pays to have monthly subscription. Also we will see what are the advantages the subscribers have kind of in upcoming slides. And third is artist fees. Let's say if someone is new or he may not be that popular, so in that case he has to pay to publish or to add his music to the app. So these are the various key components. And actually, though I did a lot of googling and browsing, I found one particular video which was kind of more interesting than all those things. So, and this is the business model canvas by Dennis Oakley, which kinds of explains clearly about what are the different components of the any business model. And this is not limited only to Spotify. In his particular site, we have even some of the interesting companies like Tesla, Amazon, and things like that, where he has explained in more detail about the business model of different businesses. And also what I feel personally is this layout is good. So maybe if even like how we have kind of some questionnaire sort of before moving into mockup. Similarly, let's say if someone is interested in trying to understand or know business model, maybe we can also adopt this different components, which will give us some organized and clear understanding of how the business model works. Yeah. So, and next, some of the like data points or charts, like which I found through interesting through like research. So it seems like in the ad supported, free content is streamed on the platform, like most of us are aware. And in this case, that Spotify earns only 10% of gross margins in 2021. And if we see on the other hand, where our subscription-based premium users, Spotify earns around 29% of gross margins. And the reason for this is nearly, I think, 87.5% of the revenue is from subscription-based only. Yeah. And these are the different plans which Spotify offers. So 119 for individual account, we can see what are the activities or what are the features we have. And in the second one, 149 is for 2, and if you go for 179 for 6 accounts. So this is kind of family plan. Yeah, as the number of users increases, the charges are relatively cheaper compared to individual accounts. different plans. Yeah.
So Jairam, that 7 rupees is actually per day, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, when I say per day, I mean they let you buy it for 1 day.
Yeah. Yes, Chaitanya.
Oh, okay.
So just
This
to
is
try, yeah, rather
no,
than
no,
pay.
no. This is not just the trying part of it. This is also, see, I mean, I'm sure you guys are aware. So if you look at our telecom market, so the way telecom market works is largely prepaid. Okay, so I think it is about 97% prepaid and only about 3% postpaid in the total volume of the market. Okay, and a large chunk of it is like sort of low ticket values. So for example, 10 rupees, right? So they buy 10 rupees, what do you call this, the recharge coupon, right? And the like. So those are much higher. So they, I mean, poor people, what they do is when they need it, they put it. Otherwise, they, use the missed call. I think it used to be the case. I think these days, I think the behavior has changed as the prices also fell. But this is also, I think, in sync with that. I think it will be nice to see what the data is.
Yeah.
And they also have a weekly plan, like 21 rupees.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Weekly plan. So because see, they are going for some vacation, for example, they want to play, they can use this, something like that.
Student plan and a lot of that. 66 rupees they are giving student plan.
Got it.
And also, I think when we travel for first time, we can use this 1 month free individual plan. And we can
Yes, that's true. Yeah, many people use this. So I think we also tried to use it some time ago for for some pictures that we wanted to download, and they gave 1 month free. So we used the 1 month free, and after that we don't have sustaining needs, so we just cancel. So that is how it works. Not necessarily bad. It gives us the option to try it, so that's a good thing. Okay, so next, that's nice.
Yeah, we'll try to see some of the quick stats based on data from various sources. So on an average, it's found like only 4 in 10 Spotify users pay for premium, and the trend has increased in recent days. As you can see, there is a strong trend from 2.6%, 26% out of 10, like somewhere around close to 3, from Q1 2015 to 4.4, which is kind of like, you can assume 4.5, like 5 customers out of 10 kind of subscribes in the Q1 2018. And unfortunately, I not able to get the data for the recent years 2021, 2022. So I think if this thing works, it would have crossed at least by 60%, close to 60% by now. But yeah. Next, revenue versus average revenue per user. So if we see from 2015 to 2021, there has been a strong growth in the revenue, and as we can see, the split 87.5% are from the premium subscribers and only 12.5% are from ad supported services. And also on the other side, if you see, like the average revenue per users in 2015 was somewhere around 7.06 euros, and now it has come to 4.29. So this clearly says the volume of business is definitely increasing. So that's why, though there is a reduce in average revenue per user and increase in revenue, the number of premium subscribers have increased a lot in the recent days. That could be one of the possible findings from this one. So, okay, let me move on to the next one. So this is it. So these all I add to.
Okay, got it. Excellent. So why don't we, is Spotify a public company?
Yeah.
Just check now. It is a public company. If it is, then we can just take a quick look at financials, and maybe they'll have their investor presentation. We can also take a look at that. Just Google for Spotify annual report. Okay, all right. So let's take a look at it. So maybe if you can just zoom in, everyone can see. So this is 2021. I think so. We'll look at just the income statement. I think that will be very interesting. Let's just go to the top. Let's look at the income statement only. Yes. Okay. All right. Okay. Just zoom in so that the numbers can be larger. Okay. So yes, I think the other trend that you saw, that as the prices fell, the subscription sort of went up, right? I think that's a sort of important experiment, and typically this is called a demand curve. Can anyone explain a demand curve?
Demand and supply curves on economic subconception.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so basically for any organization, right? So the prices will be determined as a function of the supply and the demand that is available on the market. Right? So the higher the supply, the lower the price will go. The more the demand, the higher the price will go. So
yes.
you have one curve coming down, another curve going up. The intersection point.
Exactly, that's right. So for example, I'm just drawing here. So let me see. Okay, so it's like this. Okay, so what's the x-axis? What's the y-axis? I think this is price, right? No. I don't remember. I think we can also
This is
Google
price and
x-axis quantity.
Sorry?
X is quantity, Y is price.
X is quantity. Sorry, Shravan, go ahead.
Right, Chetan, actually, price and quantity.
Yeah, okay. So if you have a very high price, then this is actually quantity, but this is actually demand quantity. Okay, so how much is being demanded? Demand means somebody actually goes ahead and says, hey, I want it, I'm willing to pay for it. So if the price is high, right, then the demanded quantity will be low, and typically it follows this kind of a pattern. Okay, this is a sort of a basic economic chart. So you can see that as price was lower, right, then you can see that the quantity demanded was higher, right? So this has gone up, right? You can clearly see in the Jairam, would you like to just show that chart one more time?
Yeah, sure.
You can see the ARPU is average revenue per user. So the price that they were charging, it actually came down, and this is a revenue trend, but the user trend was also similar, right? The revenue went up, the price went up, and I'm sure because of this, more people started to subscribe because prices were lower. So that was there. Yeah. All right. So let's go back to the income statement. So we'll sort of take some very quick takeaways from here. So I think this number, see revenue, let's look at this. See how much is 2.5 on 96? It's about 25%, right? So this number, gross profit, this number upon this number, right? Approximately around 26%, something like that, right? So this is the gross margin for this kind of a business. Please note that this is a product company, although it is a streaming company. It's a streaming company, right? So you can say product, but it's web-based, and it's a so the dynamics of this business versus, let's say, something like Microsoft, right, are very different. Microsoft, for example, will have 89% or 90% gross profit, right? As opposed to that, these guys have 26% gross margin. Okay. Now let's look at cost of revenue, I think it will be great to see what those cost of revenue would be. I think a lot of it would be, I think, royalties and stuff like that. We will take a look at it. So what does this mean? It means that, see, for every, for the price that we pay, let's say we pay 100 rupees, of that Spotify gets 25 rupees for all its expenses put together, right? Because cost of revenue is, I would say, we will look at the cost of revenue. I take that back. I will look at the cost of revenue. Okay. And you have research and development, which is roughly 10% of their revenue. Can you see this? So this one. So let me just. So this one upon this is roughly about 10%. Okay. And you have sales and marketing, all the advertising and all of that is 1.1, which is roughly a little more than 10%, right? About 13%, 12%, something like that. So general and administrative expenses, which is, the rest of the, teams will be in the general and administrative expenses. So if you look at it, look at this one. See, the operating income is 94. How much is that? 1%. Can you believe it? Right? 1%. They actually made losses the last 2 years as well. So this is, so we think Netflix is, they are taking lots of money and all of that. But, it's Netflix also, I think their profits fell and their stock price fell some time ago, maybe about a year ago, something like that. Right? It crashed at 6 months ago, I'm not sure. It crashed, primarily because it went up because of COVID. But yeah. So let's see if there is anything else that we can look at here that is interesting. See, so net they lost, okay, 34. I think, what is this? This is millions of dollars, 34 millions of dollars, right? 581, 186. They lost a lot of money. And you have, so this is the EPS, earnings per share, right? So on a per share basis, how much did they make, right? They actually lost in all the 3 years. So that's what this is showing. I'm not so sure what this is. Weighted average, ordinary shares outstanding. Shares outstanding, not EPS. Okay. So essentially what they do is they divide this with this number, right, which is weighted average ordinary shares outstanding, and they get this. All right. So there is something else called diluted. Diluted basically means, let's say a company has ESOPs, right? Employee stock options. So when they have employee stock options, what happens is that some of them will be underwater and some of them will be above water. Underwater means the employees would not exercise those because it makes loss for them today if they buy them at that price. So they wouldn't do that. So there will be others where the price is actually higher, and so it makes sense for that person to exercise that option. Right? So in that case, what they do is they add the above water, shares also to the total number of shares outstanding, even though they are not outstanding today. Okay. So that is what is called diluted, because we are saying, okay, so net, if they exercise all the options, right, then, what would the, earnings per share be, right? So that's the more sanitized number, so to say. Okay? Even though I think we have to look at this here. See, if you look at it, I think, look at this number and this number, right? They're different by about 2 million shares. Can you see that? So 191 something, right? And 193 something. So basically it is about a little more than 2 million, 2.8 million, something like that, right? However, if you look at it, this has diluted by 5 times. there's something wrong with this number. It cannot happen like this. Essentially, the numerator is same. It's only the denominator that's different, right? It cannot be 5 times. There is some problem with this published number. So look at this number and this number. Okay, can you see that? So these two numbers are more or less same, right? And that's because there is in fact, these two are exactly same too, right? So the numbers are same. Here also, it's more or less same. It's actually numbers are same and the EPS is also same. However, here, the denominator is different by about 2 million, actually 0.2%. But this number,
0.175, yeah.
0.175, so that number is wrong. Can you believe it? They have actually published it. This has gone to SEC, and still you can find this kind of a blunder in their numbers. At least I feel it's, the numerator is same, right? So, Sinha, you know this, right? So,
Yeah.
numerator is same for both the numbers. Only the denominator is different, right?
Yes.
So, this divided by this should give us this number. And the same 34 divided by this number should give us the diluted.
But
the
denominator
diluted
is
is
increasing. Therefore, the
increasing.
output should reduce. Right?
Reduce, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. So because it's lost, right, it will reduce. Yeah. Anyway, so these are some of the observations. Let's see. Hey, I'm very keen to understand what is this cost of revenue. Let's go look at that, and let's see how much of that is royalties. If you scroll, I think it will probably be in notes. Further down, scroll down. Okay, further down. These are all shares outstanding. Look for cost of revenue. It will have something called notes, and within that cost of revenue, they'll have segmentation or bifurcation. They'll have. Further down, let's look for a table. There you go. I think we have that, but we don't have a table here. Further down, let's see if we have something. They don't have any numbers there. There's something called segmentation in which they may give this. Just scroll up. This is also very interesting. Scroll up a little bit. Yes, so premium, you can see revenue. The numbers are a little different here. I'm not sure why. Gross profit, ad supported. So cost of revenue. Okay, so here they're actually giving the premium versus the ad supported, right? Remember you mentioned that some time ago.
Yeah.
Okay. So the gross margin is obviously higher in the premium, right? So 2474 upon 84 is about 27%, something like that. So here cost of revenue. So these numbers, sorry, go ahead.
I said I have read somewhere 70% of it total revenue goes to the right holders.
Correct. Okay, 70% of the revenue, is it? Okay, got it. We'll check that out. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. This is the gross profit again. So let's scroll down. Let's see if there is any other cost of revenue stuff. Scroll down. Okay, personnel expenses. Okay, auditor fee. Okay, I think it has gone a little further. I think, maybe we can look at it, Jairam, separately. If there's anything you can just they have gone into much more detail. I'm not so sure if they have given this. So see, if you want to understand any company, there is something called, this is probably 10K. Okay, so this is for all US companies. There's something called a 10K form. Okay, what we are seeing is a 10K. Okay, just go all the way to the top, Jairam, the first page. Oh, it's called 20F. That's because it's a foreign company, so it's probably registered in Europe. I'm not so sure because you're talking about euros some time ago. So if it's a foreign company, they file something called 20F. If it is a domestic company, they file something called 10K. Okay, there's a quarterly filing as well. So this is an annual report, right? If you scroll a little down, and you'll there's something called management discussion and analysis. Okay, so by far for any company, if it is a listed company, the most important information about what the company is about, okay, about the company is found in this actually there is an about section and there is a different MD&A. Can we just go check that? How, if just scroll down a little bit here. Okay, no, not this, scroll down, default scroll down. Typically it's in the beginning only, right? So we have the financial statement. So just go to the top again, go further up a little bit on the same page. Notes and presentation. So key information, yeah, information on the company. Can you go to that? Key information or any one of them, yeah. Okay, yes, okay. So summary risk factors. Okay, scroll down. Okay, so I think by far you will, risks means, hey, what affects the company, right? And they list down most of the information here. In 10K, it will be a little more obvious, okay? It will actually have about, business or something like that. They have a section like that. And that is one place to go where you can find all the information. Okay, all right. So, yeah, so maybe Jairam, you can share this link with everyone. Now that everyone has gone through this, I think they can
Sure.
Go through this a little further. It will be useful for everyone.
40.
Okay. Go ahead, sure.
In 48th page, they have a cost of revenue table actually.
Okay, let's go there. 48, is it? Okay. It's page number 45, this one. Yeah.
It's below.
Okay. Cost of revenue. Okay. So, okay, got it. So premium and ad supported. Okay. So I just scroll up a little bit. I think it will tell you what is cost of revenue. Probably most of it is, these royalties. So if you remember, premium is 598. It's almost entirely, right? So I think I saw an 8,000 something number, and this is 5986. So they did not give it by what they are. I think you have to just look it up a little bit. Okay, I think earlier we saw a big table, right, as to what it contains. I think that probably has, so what are the constituents of cost of revenue? Mostly it's going to be royalty, I think. Okay, I wanted to see if there is anything else. Yeah.
They haven't disclosed it.
There you go. For the sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, they haven't disclosed it by the items, but they only split it according to this freemium and the ad supported ones. But they've explained what that contains. It says it contains predominantly of royalty and distribution cost related to content streaming.
Distribution cost also. Okay, distribution cost means basically the servers, the internet connections, all the stuff related to that is distribution cost for this kind of. Yeah. Okay, all right.